What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with some good friends, great drinks, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. All right, guys, so we are going to hop right back into part 2 of Bourbon and Bullshit's episode featuring Christian Lugo of Lugo's Craft Distillery here in Lakeland, Florida. So make sure that you follow them on all socials, give them a like, follow, stop in, tell them that Arthur from Bourbon and Bullshit sent you, and we're going to hop right back in and continue to getting to know Christian and everything that they are doing out in Lakeland. All right, guys, we are back, and during the break, we've did a kind of a gift exchange. So we for those who are Patreons on the show recently, we are going to be thanking all of you with some custom rocks glasses brought to you by, funded by Burn Pest Control, one of our number one sponsors. And it's a Bourbon Bullshit, beautiful glass, double rocks. It's
badass.
Yeah, so
I get gifted a lot of shit. This one's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and the quality, you could say it's top notch.
I love it. I'm going to be using that a lot.
Yeah, these are really nice, heavy rocks glasses, which I think is always like what I like.
It was reflective to the spirit you're going to put in there.
Yeah, I think it should matter. And if it feels like if I could drop this glass and it'll shatter, I hate those. I hate, or if I drop this glass and it feels like plastic, I hate those too. Yeah. But did a little bit of a gift exchange, and I got hooked up with a really rare bottle because I don't think this is really all that public consumption.
It's not. It's what we did for the Lakeland Whiskey Society. It's our risky finish in a Blue Note bourbon barrel, but custom design with the Blue Note on the wax label as well too. There was only about 50 bottles made, and so I want to make sure you get your hands on one of them.
Hell yeah.
We sold a bunch more, but only select people got to keep the commemorative one.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, and that means a lot to me because I will cherish that and eventually open it with my fiance. I'm sure
Don't
she's
forget,
gonna want
it's rum too. When you taste it.
Yeah, once again, keep an eye out for that shirt. I can't believe this is rum. I can't believe this ain't whiskey.
Yeah.
But during the break, we did pour up the bottle that I brought to share. It's the Heaven and Hill grain to glass. You might hand me the bottle. Mm-hmm. So this one's a rare one. Shouts to Billy Maskers who helped me procure this. It comes in at 107 proof, 53.5% ABV, and the mash bill for those nerds who care about this is 35% rye, 52% corn, which is probably why it tastes a little sweet, and 13% malted barley.
And it actually is phenomenal for those people who are not big rye people. Like I wasn't originally. A lot of the ryes do taste like soap to me, but I love Sazerac, Michter's rye, a lot of those things. This one is phenomenal. The spice on it is elaborate. It's got the nice little sweet finish, but it's not one of those high pepper ones either. But it's quality. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and it's hard to find. For sure, but I would fucking nab it. It was, I think MSRP is like $101 or something like that.
Wow, okay.
So it distilled in 2017, released in 2024.
It's worth it.
Yeah,
it's a quality product.
Heaven Hill does no wrong.
I love Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace are my two favorite brands when it comes to all the stuff they do, but they do it with quality.
Yeah, and I if you listen back to any of the shows before, Heaven Hill technically was my first whiskey brand that I really was like, this is fucking good.
Really?
And it would not be the bottle you expect.
Yeah.
It was Rittenhouse rye.
Yeah. I tried it today. Man, it's actually delicious.
Yeah.
Too. For like $30. I'm like, holy crap. I usually hate rye, but this is delicious.
$30 and it's fucking 100 proof rye whiskey. It was like, what the fuck is this? And it was, I talk a lot of shit about the company because I think sometimes they let me down. Is Flavier. Okay. It's like the spirit of the month club type of thing.
Yeah.
So I talk shit because every once in a while they'll send me some just really like, oh, these really hard to find whiskeys. I was like, no, I got this at ABC Liquor. Like, what are you doing? Don't lie to me. Just tell me, try something new.
Access? No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like, don't lie to me. It's fine. I'll try the new stuff, but don't lie.
You know what got me into bourbon actually was Woodford Reserve Double Oaked.
Really? The one that tastes like chocolate?
The Double Oaked is what got me into bourbon. Before that, I wasn't a bourbon fan, but that's what got me into the realm of it. I had a friend who got me to try it, and it was phenomenal. And ever since then, that's introduced me into the realm itself. So Double Oaked has a special place in my heart because of that.
That's dope. Rittenhouse has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
And it became one of those ones that I would have at the house at all times.
Yeah.
Making people old fashions and all that. When friends would come over and say, oh, like, what do you want to make today? I was like, oh, here, I got something. And it would always be pleasant surprise. Like, oh, you must be using a really super expensive bottle. It's $26.
Yeah, it is. It just, the price doesn't really matter. It's what you're willing to pay for it. but in reality, the quality doesn't always reflect what the product is. Everybody's different, you know. There's no wrong answer in that piece.
Yeah, and I've had a couple people that'll hit me up, and I actually put out a list of 5 entry level whiskeys for price points because people who are intimidated
don't
don't know what to
spend
get.
$70 on something. They don't even know what they're tasting, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. I think there's a certain level. Like I don't have enough refined of a palate. You know, this is just being open to tell you if something's been aged 23 years or 16 years. There's a line like that's high enough in aging process that I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you. But if you tell me like, hey, this is fucking Pat's Blue Ribbon whiskey versus something 9 years,
right.
I could tell you.
Yeah.
So I think that approachable sense, I was able to help that friend. He's like, oh, what about this?
Well, the thing is also
this?
it's like who you're tailoring it to.
Yes.
Almost like a cigar, food, or anything else. Like, what do you like?
Yeah, exactly.
Because even if it's could be aged longer, doesn't mean it's gonna be better for that person.
Yep. There are people who hate rye, and you could age that for fucking 19 years, and they'll still be
Doesn't
like, this
matter.
is horrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something that could be there still high proof. They're not used to it. They want something like 46%. Like doesn't matter if it's been there for 20 years and it's elaborate and complex. They can't tell the difference. What does it matter?
No, but Heaven Hill grain to glass.
Phenomenal.
I am pleasantly fucking surprised. I'm glad that we got to open it for the first time and share it together.
Thankful. Absolutely.
I mean, this is great. So we're gonna keep drinking this, but as we get to closing out, I do want to ask you a couple of the fun questions.
Sure.
So one of my favorite ones is
they haven't been fun yet.
Yeah. Well, this is always the reason is that this is telling a little bit. This is always kind of
yeah.
So what is your deathbed cocktail? Meaning, hey, this is my last drink on earth.
It's funny. I actually don't drink cocktails.
Okay, what's your deathbed?
I am just
drink?
a spirit drinker. Don't get me wrong. When I'm going to the bar and I want to hang out and have a good time and my wild side comes out, Jameson Ginger is always a great thing. Margaritas.
It does the job.
Like I have my wild side. People don't see that from me, but like I've had my stories. Trust me, a lot of my friends, God, they know my life. But, to appreciate something from a spirit perspective, I think the Disney answer would be something I created with my family, whatever else. That's great too, but
What's
I don't
your
know.
answer?
A good
It could be
bourbon.
Busch Light.
No, Busch Light is actually Alex.
I know.
He's an amazing mixologist, but good Lord Almighty, he sucks at beer stuff.
I asked him. I was telling
He
him,
comes from St. Louis. This is blood, man.
I was explaining the show to him, and one of the questions I asked, and I told him about the deathbed cocktail. He was like, it would be Busch Light. That's why I brought it
he's
up.
garbage when it comes to that. I tell you what, he's a piece of shit when it comes to that.
Shouts to Alex.
I
with
love
Busch
him.
Light.
He's an amazing mixologist, but you're gonna catch him drinking Busch Light at a bar.
Well,
He makes the best cocktails in the world, but he's gonna be drinking Busch Light at the bar.
it is true. It's
like a 5-star mixologist or a chef eating McDonald's in a home.
because when you get home, I'm not trying to.
You don't want to cook. No,
I'm not
exactly.
trying
That's a difficult question because there's so many bourbons. I think I am gonna have to give that Disney answer of like something I created because I know that I did something with it.
Okay.
Like something I created.
Anything specific?
Probably the Cal's Reserve.
Okay.
There's one that we're sampling right now that is. Anybody I've given a bourbon person, it's really just risky that just age completely different. The same concept of, you have Wellers that turns into Pappies. It's, people that don't know, you have Prince of Van Winkle. They go into the same warehouse. They're like, hey, they taste these things, they smell them, and they're like, this is Pappies. This one, everything else becomes Weller. Same concept in the same distillate, same barrel, same everything. It's just this one took a life of its own. My dad is like, you need to call after yourself, kind of like Blanton's or, Elmer Tilly or E.H. Taylor, whatever, the main after the master distiller. I didn't think Christian Reserve had a proper ring to it, so my initials are CAL, Christian Lugo, so that's what this one's called, and people have been dying to get their hands on this one. People have been wanting to just get a decanter for $400 for it, like... As Arthur is going to confirm, it tastes like something that's been there for like 18 years.
This is a problem.
And it doesn't taste like a rum. It tastes like a bourbon that's been there for a very long time. The amber, the viscosity, the complexity, and it's phenomenal. And it's high proof too. It's around 120 at the moment. It was one of those things similar to, I guess, when I created this, I didn't know what was going to come from it. I had an idea. Mm-hmm. But then God took it to another form. It's similar to like me creating Risky and then this turning into something completely different. And I think I'm just really proud of like how it's become, but I could have never, I can't take credit for it because it's not like something that I it's just something that just happened.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal in so many ways.
I want to be clear to everyone listening at home. I've been in bad relationships where, like trust issues and stuff. I've never been lied to by a spirit, where I 100% drank this thinking it was he poured up whiskey that he had hidden in the back. And he's like, nah, this is just straight up rum. And I'm pissed off that every time, every time.
You would never know.
You would never know. So this would be right up there with something that I'm sure you could release it as a premium side
it is.
of it.
It's what's coming. It's going to be a complete elaborate design. I have both my family's crests on it. It's going to be something that's
meaningful.
It's a passion project in that sense.
And limited releases and everything.
So limited release, absolutely. It's higher price because of
still a couple of years away from release.
Actually, it's soon enough.
Soon enough.
It's ready to come out.
Motherfuckers, y'all heard it. Here. So all the bullshit.
It's coming out soon, including the brandy to create it as well. It's just something I've been passionate about, and finding the right time, the way that I wanted to really bring it out to the world, because people who have tried it, they've been absolutely hounding me for it, and understandably so. But it was just I wanted to bring it out in the proper way. I just didn't know creatively how I wanted it to be seen until recently, and that's what's going to be coming out soon.
That's dope, man. You guys heard it here first. We're exclusively trying something that has not even hit the shelves.
It's literally I got that out of the barrel right now.
That I heard the forklift. I heard some kind of this man. He's like, I'll be right back. And
got my whiskey thief. I'm like, I need you to try this.
I'm like, what is going on? What is he doing?
Very special. Very few people have tried this.
That man, I'm gonna shake your goddamn hand. I appreciate that.
I knew. I'm just the person, when I know that you're appreciating what we're doing, trust me, I'll go to the ends of the earth to make sure that you're taken care of.
I appreciate that,
and I want to make sure that you're experiencing the full Lugo Vaquer aspect here.
I have so far fallen in love with the place. If you weren't an hour and 45 minutes away, I might fucking put a cot outside. Just like, hey,
I got futons here. It's no worries, man.
Guys, don't worry about it. Like, gee, I thought you worked from home. I work from this distillery now. I'm just
trust me, Alex would love you all the time.
I just set up a green screen so when I'm on Teams calls, like, Arthur, where are you? Don't worry about it. Mind your business.
You're starting to slur your words at 4 o'clock. That's
mind your business. Lunch was hectic. I don't talk to you, Gladys. Could you imagine?
No, I love that.
The products are just yelling over Teams. Mind your goddamn business.
Yeah, seriously, chill right now. Alex, I'll take another one, please.
Alex, can I get another margarita? Did you order margarita? No, I'm ordering Wendy's. Goddess. Get your hot mind out of the distillery.
Oh, wait till you try his barbecue too. He's an amazing mixologist, but he's a better chef than he is a mixologist.
Jesus, fucking Alex, he's just running around doing everything.
He has done everything, and that's one of the things we always ask people working. Like, do you cook? And it sounds like whether it be sex or whatever else, it's just palate. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Remember, because we do single barrels, I always believe the best cocktail lounges are gonna have a good selection of bourbons. Because you can't replace, Woodford with blends and that kind of stuff. Like, there's a massive difference in these things. You got to learn how to accentuate them properly and making cocktails and so forth. So I don't trust a cocktail place if they don't have a good selection of bourbons. It's not just for sipping. It's just I know the people there are going to know the differences of how to make that cocktail better.
Yes.
Or accentuate how it's supposed to be. Yeah. And that's why cooking is a great way, because every recipe is a little different. Jalapeno could be a little different. The little pepper could be different. Onions could be a little sweeter. There's different ways where not every recipe is always the same. That's why being Dominican and Puerto Rican, I don't get a proper recipe thing. They're like, oh, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You have to taste it and be able to, change it on the spot. Similar with cocktails. You have to know what you're tasting. It's not just following a recipe, but knowing that your ingredients are so fresh, they may be a little different. Yeah. So you got to learn how to take some back or, accentuate it.
I got to tell you the story because I think you would appreciate it because my friends have given me so much shit when you're talking about ingredients. So recently I had a friend, she had a wedding. She asked me, hey, what cocktails do you think I should have? So I helped pick the his and her cocktails. Mm-hmm. And I gave her a cocktail recipe and I said, make sure you use fresh lime juice. She's like, isn't that going to be a bitch? I was like, yes. It's going to be fucking awful, but it's worth it. And she's, well, it's a lot of people. I was like, do what you want. But my recipe says fresh lime juice. Mm-hmm. Do what you want. I understand, time constraints and all that. So we get to the wedding. Cocktail was still good, but I see the guys walking with the squeeze bottle lime juice to the bartender's like, you motherfuckers. And I was pissed. And I wasn't pissed at the bride. I'm pissed at the wait staff because I know that she told him fresh lime juice. And I told my friend, he's like, what's wrong? I was like, this fucking motherfucker's walking in here. I got so much shit for like a month about fresh lime juice, right? That's what it'll be. I was like, you son of a bitch, if you had a recipe, and you saw like, hey, this is my recipe. I take pride in it. I know what'll work. And you saw someone fucking shitting all over it, you would be pissed too.
Absolutely, I would too, man.
But as Hispanics,
it makes a difference.
Yeah, but as Hispanics, we know it's like you have to taste stuff. You have to season stuff until your ancestors tell you to stop.
Yeah,
like the spirit of your ancestors is like, ya mijo.
Adobo
ya.
Para mijo, chacho.
Chacho, you want to taste the chicken, right? Yeah. So
it's well seasoned, that's for sure.
100%. But I think you're right though. When you think about just palates in general, there's a certain level of training, elevating it, understanding the nuances, and trying to find that like pick up on things that not everyone does.
Yeah,
and
you don't even have to come from that background. Like Arden, amazing mixologist here, loves to cook, everything else. We train him to do mixology, and that's the first thing I'm like, all right, create something new. He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, what do you like to drink? What do you like to what's your favorite fruit and everything else? Make something with that. And it was just, I always believe in being thrown into the fire. I feel like innovation comes from adversity, but also, you get your true self from times when you just have nothing else to give but what you are. And that's how I was. I was fresh in baseball. I was freshman starting varsity. I was always thrown into these fires of like high or older people, anything else, no experience, and just learning on the go. Yeah. But you do have that basis on being a chef or at least cooking at home and having that flavor palette. And his palate just accentuated ever since then. But you have to give people that freedom of what you enjoy doing and what you want to do with it, and understanding it's not just a recipe. It's literally it's a unique concept of bringing these little flavor palettes together and creating something unique.
And trying bad stuff.
Finding
time. What you don't like.
I can't tell you how many times I've been given bad stuff.
equally finding the good stuff, you have to find, this is fucking awful.
Even if it's a quality, have those metals, whatever else, I may not like it. I have... I love vanilla caramel, those notes of oakiness, some of those tannins. I love specific things that I'm going to enjoy more than others. Mm-hmm. Price tag doesn't really mean anything to that if you don't enjoy it.
Oh, we can talk about that till we're
all the time.
Anytime I've been to fine dining establishments and all this, and I know we got off the tangent from the deathbed cocktail, but I do think this is important.
Yeah.
I've been in fine dining establishments and like, it's going to be this much for this. I was like, awesome. And then the plate comes out and I was like, I am still hungry.
Yeah. You're like, all right, let's get a burger on the way home or something.
I've left a 5-star dining experience when I was living in Massachusetts and went to Wendy's with my significant other at the time.
About you, because I've done that a couple times.
Yeah. and because she, even when we got back in the car, she's like, that was lackluster. Mm-hmm. Yes. She's like, are you still hungry? Yes. I'm like, are you hungry? She's like, yes. Hold on one second. Playing. Sorry about that. We had an unexpected visitor that Max had to do security walk on. But I think that
it's better than TSA.
Yeah, much better than TSA. I like him. TSA can sometimes be really too handsy.
Absolutely.
Like, ma'am,
relax.
Stop. It's only so much. I don't know what bomb you thought I put in my shoe, but please give it back.
Exactly. Like, relax, bro. It's so good.
I think back to the deathbed cocktail. The reason why I like asking that is to kind of see what's something that either connects to memory or something like that. So the fact that you said something you created, and this specific upcoming, first, you heard it here first, upcoming brand of Risky or line, the premier line, is something that obviously holds a big special place in your heart. And it's going to be unique.
You have to, being a creator in a sense, when it comes to food, it's
has to be my mom's
like turkey and stuff, and there's just a specific way that everybody who's ever tried it's just special to you in your heart, and doesn't have the high rewards of anything else in the world. It's just something, like you said, that holds a special place in your heart. Mm-hmm. For someone like you, it could be that Rittenhouse because it got you started on that. Yep. For me, it could be that Double O because it started me in this world that I never knew existed. Yeah. It doesn't have to be something high priced. It's something that means something special to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why I like asking that question, to kind of see what's important.
Right.
And is it, oh my God, I would really love to try the Pappy 25 that I never got to try. Okay.
Cool. You may hate it still, but
right,
cool.
You may hate it. Like, and I think that's why I don't take that risk. I was like, it's my deathbed cocktail. I don't want to taste something.
I want something I enjoy. Like, I've had all the Pappies. Be honest with you, I love the 12.
Yeah,
My dad's a 15. You're like, you know, he loves anything 15. Redbreast 15 or whatever else. Like,
Redbreast, I hear, is really fucking
It is delicious. I got it. So my sister married an Irishman in New York City. Or in Ireland, actually, but they met in New York City. So Irish people and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, very, very similar in so many different ways. They have haggis, which is like our morcilla. Yeah. You know, they have, but their whiskey is phenomenal. The Redbreast, Method of Madness. I used to be a little more Scotch when Oban and everything else, but Irish whiskey's phenomenal. I love it.
Like the guy who's going to be my best man at my wedding, he's Irish and Italian, but mainly Irish. Like he visited his family in Ireland and all that. And one of my favorite friends I've made, his name is Brennan. He's straight from Ireland. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, you need to come out there. Guinness is actually called, like when we drink Guinness, there's an actual specific day called Arthur's Day. He's like, you were born in the wrong country, man. I was like, the fuck? Because we were drinking Guinnesses and he didn't even know that I loved it like that.
Yeah.
He's like, are you doing this because I'm here? I was like, no, I straight up like Guinness. I like dark, deep flavors. Like, beer in general makes me feel bloated and chunky.
Right. When you got that nitrogen in there, but it's better.
Yeah. So exactly. So it was just funny. So to your point, like there's a lot of like almost parallels in our like culture and dynamic.
It is. The only thing is our skin color. Other than that, bro, Irish and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are very similar.
Yeah.
Food-wise and everything else.
I'm better in the sun.
That's for damn sure.
And they're better on credit line. Listen, all jokes.
All jokes. Potato-wise, you know.
all jokes. Before someone comes at me. We have plátanos, they have potatoes. Still poverty food. We get it. We
come from the same world, man. We've been beaten down so many ways.
Why do you think plátanos are 5 for $1?
Bro, I'm telling you, he loves Puerto Rican food like crazy too. My cousin or my brother-in-law. Sorry,
Hispanic food is built like off the poverty line because
it is just rice, like Irish man, bro. They live on potatoes. That's why they had that potato famine, bro. Like we come from the same line. I promise you. You go to Ireland and you're Puerto Rican. Be honest with you, in the town that he was from, there's a person that was farmer, never left Ireland. He spoke perfect Spanish.
Yeah.
Fucking random as hell. We're like, what the hell? I was speaking to this Irish guy with an Irish accent in Spanish, and he spoke better probably Spanish than I do. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Bro, I was going to say.
Random as hell.
I was going to say, like, the 3 key foods in Hispanic cultures, like rice, beans, and plantains. And those are some of the cheapest foods you can fucking find. Guess where we grew up? The poverty line. Yes.
I mean, think about it. Like, lobster now is actually a freaking specialty, and that's used to be peasant food. Ribs, rack of lambs, all these things that were like thrown to the peasants, and I was like a luxury shit.
Yep, because
fuck you, man. We made it luxury.
Yeah, it's like you give us trash and we turned it into something fantastic.
Literally, now give it back. I don't want that price anymore.
I don't want that price. You take away, you give me back my seasoning, goddamn.
Yeah, seriously.
I made this palatable, goddamn it.
I love this is like bourbon bullshit for a shit. Like that's just who we are. It's as everyone you met here. It's not. Oh, we're like a scripted sense of like who we are. No, we're fucking just normal human beings.
Yeah.
We're here to have a fucking good time. We enjoy ourselves. We enjoy our company. And these guys have their own careers. They enjoy being here.
Yeah.
I enjoy being here. We all enjoy being here. And people enjoy being here for that reason. It's like.
Well, for the people listening at home, they didn't get to see this or hear this. Some of the staff was out here and we poured up the Heaven and Hill grain to glass with them, which I guess they might have been surprised I was sharing. I was like, no, all of you should be drinking with me. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, literally, they were so thankful because, like, as much as I share with them, like, people just share with me, and like I want to make sure they're appreciated as well too. So I appreciate you sharing with them as well too.
I'm like, no, they should be
They're the reason why we're successful in a lot of ways. You know?
I was like, drink with us, man. This is the whole point.
It's a share together.
Yeah, the people who have like dusty bottles that they'll never open. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
So my favorite people is Sean. I have to introduce you to. He's got everything known to man, but how he started out, his quote now is like, no bottles left safe. Because when he started out, he was just buying stuff and people were giving shit like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna try everything and drink everything. He opens up everything. People just leave it in dust. Nah, he's like, I'm gonna enjoy. He's invited me. I still gotta go visit him. But like, it's to enjoy. People are like, oh, waiting for a special occasion. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking alive. I could die tomorrow in a car crash.
Guys,
I'm enjoying today.
Yeah, today is that special occasion.
It is. We are alive. We're enjoying it with someone special here. You know.
I woke up today. I got a beautiful fiance. I'm able to move my everything. Every day above ground's a good one. Every day above ground's a good one.
That's a blessing.
special occasion. Yeah.
and enjoy it.
But I was saying the staff, when we talked about our 9 to 5s fuel our passions, like, it was just it's so cool to see like so much different backgrounds, and we shared a little bit of our like 9 to 5s. We're not going to get into the corporate life because you never know who the fuck's listening. Mind your business. Mind your business. But it's cool to see that passion still, like they're working full-time jobs, and then they come and do their passion. So that tells you how much this matters, because
you know how emotional it is, like, to be like when you're working 9 to 5 or in your life itself, and you want to go home and relax, do whatever else. And this is their getaway. Mm-hmm. For them, this is what they enjoy.
Yeah.
And a place that we created, like, it's hard to put into words and hard to fathom, and it's hard to appreciate properly because that doesn't happen. Yeah. And like, I don't know how to, except for like giving whatever I have, like if it's a shirt on my back, whatever it is, like, because they're helping us create something so unique.
Yeah, and
I can have a vision, but I don't have the right people there to actually expose that to people, implement it. It's nothing.
Yeah, and you and I talked about it off air, was that as like a business owner or a small creative or small business like this podcast, like you have to wear many hats, and there's a certain level of, and as Hispanic men, I know it's tough. We need help. There are times that it takes a village to create an idea.
I am not afraid to ask. I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about this. Please teach me about it so I can learn.
But I know, but general like stigma is that.
It is
like,
a massive stigma.
It's a massive
My
stigma.
dad's part of that. I love him to death.
Massive stigma.
But it's like, no, we could do it. I'm like, no. We need help, bro.
I'm going to hire somebody.
We need help.
Because the amount of hours and time I'm spending and trying to figure this
stuff out. Bro, I got
out.
So much shit to do. I can't spend time to this. Yeah. I need someone else to do that.
Yeah, from a business standpoint, you have to understand time versus like cost and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah, all that. We could do that all day. For anyone at home, like, well, if you take shut up.
No.
I know the logic. I understand there's logic to it, but shut the fuck up.
right. Trust me, there's other pressing needs.
Yeah, those are pressing needs.
Being a business owner, 95% of the time is putting out fires.
Yeah. Or fucking, is this worth the time versus the...
Especially being self-funded. I don't know somebody else pumping that money in there.
Yeah. Or is this worth me hiring someone to do it right the first time?
Correct.
It's like, let me hire somebody.
Correct.
So but all that's cool to see that like there's still that drive, power, initiative, and you're able to have that village that sees your vision and feels that passion, and it goes back to who you are as a human being, to be able to so support it. Because if it felt hollow and corporate cold, they would be like,
people would tell.
Yeah,
we wouldn't be as successful.
And they wouldn't fucking, if they're exhausted from their 9 to 5, they're calling out, bro. They ain't coming in.
There's no loyalty to that because they see the people creating it working their ass off. They're fucking. Yeah. I mean, it's not to brag. It's I've been here 60 hours in a row without seeing the sun to then go do an event or anything else. I'm going with my dog Max here. I got his dog food in the back for a reason. Like
Chris, you told me that this used to be where you slept.
That was my futon right there.
Yeah,
I had an air mattress.
That's what
I had my little TV here. I played PlayStation overnight.
Yeah, so I guess what the fuck they saw. The man who will not ever stop.
They know that I have their back in every possible, and if I do take 2-second break, it's because I'm thankful that they are able to cover and do what it's supposed to do so that I can enjoy some of my life. It's not 7 hours, 7 days.
And it's part of the reason why I told Alex, I was like, I'm thankful for you to share that story with me, share your time with me, and share like your brand with me.
That's why I'm appreciative of you, because it's, people don't see behind the bottle.
No, and that's what my goal is. My goal is to show people more about who the person is behind that title. Right. We had an episode, Bourbon and Nursing. So we brought an overnight nurse, an emergency room nurse, and someone who works with, like, she's the last nurse.
Heroes,
she's like the last nurse you see. Like, she's the one who has the machine, mans the machines, all that. And they tell our stories and talk about, like, they got into it. They saved someone's life on an airplane.
Oh my God.
Like, they're traveling on vacation and someone's like, hey, is that, like, this person's going to cardiac arrest. And they fucking stepped in like heroes. People don't think about that. Human being has to go home and take that. They
think they're going home with their family or whatever else, and they have to save someone's life.
Yeah, they save someone's life. They fucking have to take that trauma. They see people on their deathbeds. They see people they can't save. All that stuff is like, yeah, but it's a nurse in scrubs. They see scrubs and somehow get dehumanized because they think the doctor is everything, end all be all.
Right.
So I'm like, no, we are going to talk to the fucking nurses. We're not going to talk to the doctors. They get all the fucking highlights anyway. We'll talk to the nurses. And you would be so surprised how quickly you see the passion to help is in their eyes. Like even
It's
when
what
they're
they
telling
signed up
frustrating
for.
stories, but even when they're telling frustrating stories,
Right.
they're just like, you know, but we got to do what we have to do. We want to make sure that the patient's fine. We're saving their lives. Like, so seeing those, the person behind the brand, person behind the bottle with yourself in this situation is important to me.
Right.
And I think it's more important to listeners than people realize. And my
You know,
goal,
it's like going to a liquor store and like, why am I buying this bottle? Like, I guess not everybody thinks that way. Some people do. And that's why I appreciate the bourbon community so much because...
heritage and stories.
You know, it may sound terrible, but it is bourbon and bullshit. But a lot of rum people kind of just don't give a shit about that piece. Nope. Bourbon people, like the experience of it I've had right here, including our, you know, employees. I hate saying employees. They're our friends. They're people who care about this place. But essentially, it's, you know...
You can say team members.
Team members is probably the proper term of, you know, a lot of rum people are like, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? You should do this. You should do that. I'm like, go fuck yourself. We're creating something unique. A lot of bourbon people, and why I respect them so much and why I wanted love to be this podcast, you know, they care about how it's created, why it's created, what makes it so unique. You know, every time I talk to a bourbon person, oh, what kind of barrel? Like, new tried American white oak, it's virgin oak. Okay, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you distill? Like,
fourth generation master distiller.
Exactly.
Their yeast has been developed over 6 generations. Like, they fucking that passion, that nerdity.
They care about that, how it's made.
Yes.
Not just what it tastes like. Of course, that's always the end goal, but how it's made, they care about that. And that's why, again, I brought bourbon to rum, and that's why when people don't understand that, and they hate that piece at the beginning until they understand, because I'm bringing that culture, the heritage, that history to rum, of how we care about how it's made, care about how it's aged, we care about how it's used. Like, if you tell someone, I'll take a Blanton's and Coke, they tell you, go fuck yourself. Like, and you say, Pat, be like, go fuck yourself. Like, why would you do that to someone who worked their ass off to create this fucking thing?
Yeah.
You know, like...
There's a level where I'm like, drink what you want, but I'm like, I've heard bartenders will be like, if someone orders something like a Blanton's and Coke, they'll put it in 2 separate glasses. Do what you want, but I'm not doing it to you.
Exactly. They had that respect for it because,
Try
bro,
without the
you
Coke,
worked
please.
so fucking hard for this.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you just gonna dilute in this shit? If you're like, dude, if you don't know what Blanton's tastes like, just take a normal bourbon and Coke or whatever else, or whatever lore piece of shit you want.
I feel like
fine.
when
You're not
people
gonna taste the difference.
I say when people like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think when someone says, "Hey, let me get a Blanton's and Coke," they're trolling. They're being dicks on purpose.
They want to show how much money they got or whatever.
Yeah, they're trying to be difficult on purpose. They know what they're doing. They're trying to get a reaction.
Bro, it's not. But when you realize how hard you're working, it's like taking like a Monet or a freaking artwork from Picasso and just breaking it just because you can and creating a video out of it. It's like, bro, someone worked their fucking ass off for this, and it's, you know, it's quality. You're not gonna get this shit again. Why the hell would you destroy it that way?
I don't get people all the time. But
you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah,
it's the same concept. It's artistry.
No,
it's like,
I completely understand what you're saying.
Quality steak you dry age for 40 days or whatever it is, or salmon, and you're just making tacos out of it.
Or put ketchup on it.
Put ketchup on it. You know, it's the same concept. It's like, go fuck yourself. Like, go take some bullshit like flank steak to do that. I don't care. Like, it's when you take that passion you create it, it's like, sure, you take it home, do whatever the fuck you want with it, but we're not going to do that here.
Exactly. That, I think, is also a big piece, especially because you're the man behind the brand. If someone was in here and they were like, hey, let me get your highest end whiskey and I want Mountain Dew with it,
I would kick them out. The guys know here, they would do the same. They're like, go to the local dive bar, go fuck yourself, and go enjoy yourself there. That's not here.
There's a chef, David Chang. Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Mamosuko, whatever, Mamosuko. Like, his noodles are now famous. They're sold in Publix, all that. When he first started his restaurant, people would ask, there was a food critic or a foodie that he said, I would go to his restaurant and say, I want the Brussels sprouts, whatever he was ordering, was like, oh, no bacon, because I don't eat bacon. And a couple times I accommodated it. And by the third time, David came out. He's like, hey, listen, so we make that recipe the way it is because we think it tastes the best. There's a very nice vegan restaurant 3 doors down if you want to give them a shot. And at that, basically saying, I'm not changing it. I'm not accommodating you. I did it twice.
I love that so much.
You keep ordering the same thing. It's always had bacon. You know it's had bacon. We accommodated the first 2 times because you were trying us. Now you've been here 3 times. You know what the fuck this is. Mm-hmm. And the foodie was saying, is like, that's the moment David Chang became David Chang. Like, known for, he's like, I'm not going to change my product for everyone. I'm not building something for everyone. I'm building something because I truly believe the passion and everything about it. And if you shift,
everything works together in that way.
And if I've made a recipe like this, I made it for a reason.
Right.
It wasn't meant to be taken in the way you're taking it in.
Right.
So no, we're not compromising my integrity for that. Right. If you had a food allergy or if you're going to die, order something else. We have options. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not what we're doing.
It's like this having like, oh, someone didn't like it too much rye, so maybe we should put 32% rye instead for them. Fuck that. People are going to enjoy it for what it is, and that's how it is.
There are options for that person.
Exactly.
So I get it, and I'm not mad at it. I think that especially when it's my product, I want to be able to do it how I want.
If you don't like it, why the fuck would you make it?
All jokes aside, I've had, this makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I've had people reach out, and I've always looked for feedback on the show, because especially while we're discovering ourselves and figuring it out. But I understand that I've always understood this. I'm not going to keep everyone happy. Mm-hmm. But I've had some people like reach out and offer their criticisms. But when I asked them, I was like, hey, how many episodes have you heard? Oh, just a couple. So you're not a really big listener.
You're not going off base of the whole thing. Yeah, just what you just heard.
Yeah, my show's really a la carte. But I was like, yeah, but the couple I've seen, I don't know if it's for me. Cool. It doesn't have to be. Like, there's a Rick and Morty joke. It's like, I don't care about your booze because I've seen what makes you cheer. I don't care about your booze because I've seen what makes you cheer. Cool. I'm not making something for you.
No.
The people who enjoy my shit, that's who I made it for. The people who enjoy getting to know the men behind the bar.
What you enjoy, people are going to appreciate.
And I think it's fun also to push those buttons. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a little bit of the I like antagonizing people. It's like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to do what I was doing even harder now.
Bro, I don't think... there's a few times where I've been like around different realms, and I'm like, I'm not flavored like these people, so I'm creating my own thing here. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I want to start that war. I want to start revolution. Please, compare mine to theirs and understand the difference in them.
All right, I'm asking... I'm a touch on a probably tough... Not tough, but an interesting side of it. With whiskey, we're rum. We're Hispanic. Mm-hmm. We're associated with rum. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that... not that you've experienced it, but do you feel that there's kind of like that gatekeeping where our culture doesn't necessarily align with bourbon heritage and whiskey heritage?
You know, it's funny you say that because I feel like a lot of, speaking some brand ambassadors, there are a lot of rums from different countries that do try to align in a sense of age process, even though they're not.
Like Brugal and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. But, you know, what's funny is they say where they're from. Mm. And a lot of when it comes to rum, people are like, I only drink rum from my country. The reason they love, you know, anything Puerto Rico or Dominican or Venezuela, Colombia, whatever the hell it is.
I have fucking Honduran rum at home.
Hey, but you're a person who appreciates different things. Apparently there's like a kind of like a fad of like, I only drink stuff from my country. The reason they love our brands is like, there is no country to that. We're creating a product for everyone in the sense of what you appreciate what you're doing. Yeah. So, like, no, we actually haven't encountered that because it doesn't say, oh, only Puerto Rican rum kind of stuff. It's not that. The Pitorro has Puerto Rican heritage from that. Yeah. But everything else created, it doesn't come from anything. It comes from my mind. Yeah. It comes from that.
I asked that for two reasons. One, obviously, I think you might have known of Uncle Nearest, that company. Yeah. So Uncle Nearest popped up as something with that heritage of Tennessee whiskey, where like all that story and people started getting highlighting like African American culture in whiskey, and where that kind of for the first couple of years of it, they're like groundbreaking. It's like, motherfucker, they've always been involved. So it's like it's crazy that there's this association with certain cultures and demographics with whiskey and bourbons and all that.
And I understand that piece a lot, and that's why which I've always loved. And my favorite brand ambassador of all time, Mildred and Kim, they're a lot of the
what brand?
They actually work for, I think it's called Salt Block Hospitality. Okay. They're just amazing people who help me see the vision of what this can become. And I attribute it, and I know I'm going to take care of them in the future. They help me the visualizing for this cocktail lounge. Or like, they're the ones that told me, hey, your product's amazing, but it's good. Because it's so good, you don't have to sell it. It's going to sell itself just by people tasting it. Yeah. And so, like, they can see this brand or whatever else, but because they love it so much, they don't really care about anything else from it. Good. And some people just buy because of those brands, or some because of the backstory of all those things. Yeah. Some people just buy things, most of the time, because it just tastes good. Yeah. And, your product just tastes amazing. So...
I'm a big proprietor of tasting good.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get so mad when people are like, I'm chasing a brand. Like, that's why we got mad at Sir Davis.
Correct. And that's why it's just like, when you come to that, it's like, I understand why some people, especially when they're creating a brand, they would see that. But I'm not making a brand for just a certain culture. I'm just making a brand because I love what it is. Yeah. And I think everyone can enjoy it. And it doesn't matter what walks of life you come from, you enjoy it.
And the second reason why I was asking is, remember, my show's Bourbon and Bullshit.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of us, until I made that brand and title and said, this is what I want to do, I knew, but it didn't hit me as much as I started building the brand, what was associated with Bourbon and Bullshit.
Right.
Whereas like, oh, I'm entering a space that where like someone with Dominican heritage, a lot of rum loving and a lot of tequila loving and all that stuff. Is it really something that they've seen like me running around doing? A Dominican dude saying like, I'm whiskey and rum, a whiskey and bourbon. It's like, no te gusta romo? I was like, yeah, I love rum. Like, why? Like, I'm not confined by one glass. Like that's I will drink everything that tastes good as long as it fucking tastes good. The reason why I ask is I was curious what from your standpoint, because I know that my experiences, I've run into situations where people didn't necessarily align with my vision and what I thought of when I think of a good bourbon and that experience. That. Yeah. And when people were like, hey, you're entering a space that doesn't really look like you. I'm like, why doesn't it?
Why?
Like, the bottle's the same whether I have it or someone else does. Like, me touching the bottle doesn't change depending on my ethnicity or culture.
Right, like one person can like tacos or like, you know.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
What the hell?
And these are coming from a friendly space.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, the fact that a friendly space is thinking like this, I wonder how the unfriendly space is thinking of it. So that's why I was just curious what your experiences might be, because I ran into that personally. So
I don't think I've actually ran into
which
that
is fan-
personally.
I'm ecstatic. I'm glad that you have it.
You know, I just thinking about it, like when you're asking them, like I don't think I've actually really encountered that. They just thinking about. I just think because I make rum, but it's like, oh, you like rum? I'm like, nah, I fucking hate rum. Like I'm a bourbon fan,
which I found fucking comical when you told me that out back.
But when you try this, you understand why.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking taste like. It doesn't taste like rum. He's a liar.
But even with the cocktails and everything else, it's just not to the traditional rum of what the sense is. It's creating something else completely different.
And it's similar to that tequila conversation we had earlier.
Yes,
there's a connotation. You expect rum. This is fucked up. But you think rum, you think mojitos, daiquiris, Captain Morgan when you think about
rum
spice rum and cokes. You don't really think too much.
Nope.
But then when you get deeper into it, you really enjoy cocktails. You start realizing tiki. You start thinking about other versions and other cocktails that Cuba Libres and everything else that rum could do.
When people come here, they're like, this doesn't taste like an old fashioned like with rum. It tastes like an old fashioned with bourbon. Like,
that's the point.
Because it's properly aged. It's just not flavor. That's the idea. Point. It's just an old fashioned.
You are here for a point, ma'am.
Right.
It says craft distillery.
Yeah, it's not the same shit you're used to.
But and that's why I think I appreciate you and your brand so much, is because I'm trying to do the same thing for the bourbon creative content creator space, because I want to tell people that it's not about getting completely fucking drunk or, let's talk about this, the palate and this and this. No, I want to talk to the person behind the other side of the bottle.
Right.
I want to talk to the other person at the other end of the bar. I want to talk, like, the bottle's a catalyst for this and to have fun and enjoy and share those stories. So it was just, I was curious from maybe a selfish, but it is my show, so I get to be selfish.
Of course.
Curious about what, if you run into any of those circumstances where people might be like, hey, shouldn't you be making mojitos? Shut up.
I mean, many times people have come here. It's like, oh, do you have like Tito's and vodka? I'm like, we are a rum distillery. Like, oh, do you make like a wine? Like, we are a rum distillery. They're like, oh, do you make this? Fuck, dude. Like, no. Like, do you make mojito? Sure. But like, dude, trust me. You try these other cocktails, you forget about mojito here.
I'm going to tell you one last funny story. It's a personal, I went to a work function and we were at a tiki coming back up. It was a tiki bar / restaurant. Fucking Polynesian food, Hawaiian food, all this stuff. And they're serving Mai Tais and port lights and zombies and hurricanes. And I was like, oh, I fuck with every single thing on here.
Sure.
And one dude in my industry is like, I ordered a house red wine. The fuck are you doing here? What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. You really fucking ordering red wine at a tiki restaurant? And I looked at him and was like, red wine, bro? Just try something else. He's like, no, I just want wine. I was like, all right, cool. Order what you want. It's your money, but okay. The red wine comes out and he has the balls to be like, this tastes like old wine. I was like, yeah, because the fucking house wine here is rum. The fuck is wrong with you? Like, of course it's going to taste bad. They haven't used it. Like, no one uses wine here.
No one orders this shit here, man.
fuck is wrong with you? And I had to break it down to him. I was like, listen, man, you're at a tiki restaurant. The wine is on the bottom somewhere that no one's touched in like 8 months.
At least. Maybe 8 years.
Maybe it was used as a floater for something.
Right.
Like,
maybe they did a New York sour or something from that, whatever.
And he was like, oh, I didn't realize. The fuck? Look around. What the
Actually,
fuck?
It's a funny story here. Like, we had a cocktail called Pretty in Pink. And it was like an herbal cocktail, but we used like dried dragon fruit to create the color and everything when it comes to shaking it. And the guy ordered it, and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting to look like this." I'm like, "It's called Pretty in Pink. Like, what do you think it was, an old fashioned? Like, what was it? Like a simple cocktail? Is this margarita? Like,
I'm sorry.
now.
I am kind of a dick. Yeah. I'm not. You know what? I'm not even defend this. I can't stand dudes that are like, it came out in a pretty glass.
I was like, should I get like a pinky up? I'm like, what the fuck? You ordered this shit. Like, what are you talking about?
Even then, if it's fucking delicious, enjoy it.
It was delicious. He enjoyed it, but it's like, I wasn't expecting what the fuck are you expecting from a cocktail called Pretty in Pink?
I went to a cocktail bar and I ordered something. It's like, hey, just so you know, it's in an up glass. The fuck do I care? Is it delicious?
Is it good? Like, what's in it?
And I was like, okay. And then I stopped because I picked up on nuances. I was like, do dudes have a problem with it being in an up glass? He's like, a lot of dudes just ask for it to be in a rocks glass.
Oh my god!
I was like, those soft baby back bitches.
Bro, I don't know what color it is, but it's this good. I don't give a shit what you say.
I will fucking chug pina coladas because
put it into a freaking swan glass. I don't give a shit.
It can come in a fucking sippy glass. If it's fucking delicious, I'm
gonna chug that shit.
I went to a fucking speakeasy in Austin and they served me something called Lean. It was an upscale fucking elevated cocktail in a fucking styrofoam cup. It was amazing. I don't give a shit when it came in.
Bro, as long as I'm enjoying, I don't care what you said that shit in.
When people are like, oh, I can't order a daiquiri. That's a girl's drink. Shut up.
The fuck?
I will order 14
I'm secure
daiquiris.
in myself. I'm sorry. I know who I am.
Max is pissed about it too.
I am secure in myself. I know what I like. If you want to talk shit about that, bro, you're insecure about yourself.
Yeah. It's a pretty, I'm going to order Pretty and Pink and be pissed if I get this came pink.
If it's good, dude, they put craft into this. They took time into it. They care about it. I love it.
It's so fucking annoying. So shouts to all the fucking soft baby back bitches out there that can't drink a pretty cup with an umbrella. I want the umbrella,
bro. I want that. I'll put that in my. I don't give a shit, bro.
You know the extra pineapples in your
fool.
I will act a fool on 13 pina coladas. You crazy? I will sit down, drink the fucking brightest pink pina colada. If it's amazing, I'm drinking that shit.
I don't care. I love blue margaritas, man. I just like the color. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna order.
You understand how stronger it is too.
Yes.
You know, it's funny, like those guys that actually drink that shit, like, oh, well, I don't know about this. Those females drinking some of the cocktails they're drinking here, they're stronger than the shit that they're drinking. So,
bro,
like,
I made this joke before. Red wine. People are like, I drink whiskey, I don't drink wine. Wine is fucking strong as shit if you drink it. Yeah, especially
15%. You drink like 9 ounces of it, 69. Bro, you're getting fucked up off of that shit.
What is wrong with you?
Bro, those ladies drinking dirty martini. Dude, all it is like 3 ounces of like alcohol and like a little bit of like, olive juice. Yeah. Bro, they're stronger than whatever the fuck you're drinking, bro. Like,
my fiance, shouts to her because I love this woman. When we first started dating, it was Grey Goose and cranberry juice and shit like that. She went to like a sushi spot with her. It was a girls' night. Everyone's like, "Oh, Cosmos, blah blah." She's like, "I just want." She looked at the menu. She's like, "Let me get a double Rittenhouse neat." Ooh. And the guy's like, "Do you know what that is?" She looked at him like she was gonna daggers.
Bitch, I know what I ordered. Did I stutter?
Motherfucker, I read this. The fuck is wrong with you? She looked at daggers, and she's a beautiful, gorgeous, wonderful woman that scares the shit out of everyone around her.
I love it. That's a true woman right there.
And she's just like, yes, Rittenhouse is from Heaven Hill Distillery. Like, she fucking put knowledge on him. She's like, yes, Heaven Hill Distillery out in Louisville, Kentucky.
Made me feel like shit.
And he's like, I have this at home. Do you have it? And he's like, yeah.
So sorry. I mean,
he was like, I am so sorry. I apologize. This lady knows more than me.
Yeah. It's like one of those, I don't know if you watch Park and Rec and you see like Ron going to like the hardware store. He's like, can I help you? I know more than you.
I know more than you. Sorry.
I know that so many times.
I got so close to the mic. I'm so sorry for the audio files out.
I know more than you.
It's been 2 hours. We've been drinking. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. I know more than you. And she's gone one of her she's had 2 jobs for a while. She'd go to a job, she worked at Total Wine for a little bit, and they would like, oh, we're getting this and this, and she's like, oh yeah, I've tried that. What? And people started realizing that we were bourbon enthusiasts, and she would tell them everything we had, and like the dudes were in awe. They're like, what the fuck? I promised God, if I was a jealous dude, I would worry because they were all like, I want a woman like you.
Yeah, seriously. That's what I should have married.
You better stop.
Yeah.
I put a ring on it. You better relax.
Relax. I already did that. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm the lucky one here.
It was like to them, I was like, yeah, but it's chill. All right, guys, we are getting to that 2-hour mark. This was way too much fun because we were supposed to stop at like 1 hour and 15. But we're going to close out. Max is telling us it's time for him to fucking get attention because we know dogs love attention. Maxie,
especially this guy.
All right, so tell everyone where they can find you, socials, any events that you got coming, and just about you.
Lugo's Craft Distillery, Facebook and Instagram. Obviously, we are here in Lakeland, Florida, 2500 Drainfield Road, Suite 208. But we have a great mixology class here we're going to be coming out with. We have a great cocktail lounge, private event center. You get all the unique stuff here. And follow us on social media, Instagram, and our website so you can find out all the cool stuff that are coming out, including our finishes and collaborations. So thank you so much for listening and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, man.
We do free tours and tastings, by the way.
What the fuck? Free tastings? Free tours and tastings, guys. You guys got to participate in this because this shit is delicious. I'm looking at the ingredients. I'm looking at the bar. You got to come out here. Even if it's a little bit of a drive, you'll be fine. Figure it out.
Have a good time.
Have a good time. Guys, for everyone who is following, subscribing, liking, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. You can find us at bourbon _ _BS because
the bullshit.
Instagram doesn't let me curse because monetary reasons. For those who are supporting on Patreon, keep an eye out. We are giving out glasses to those who are at a certain level of subscriptions. We appreciate the support. If you are enjoying what we're doing, let us know. Love you all, guys. Take care and be safe. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn Termite and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn Termite and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn Termite and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.